Hi folks, welcome to RJ Impact. Today I'm going to provide a roundup of events surrounding Sam Bankman-Fried and the FTX crypto exchange bankruptcy in the lead up to SBF's trial. There have been a number of developments and disclosures made in the lead up to the trial as the legal teams file various documents at court. So we'll discuss, amongst other things, legal battles, further allegations of financial misconduct, and the latest on Sam Bankman-Fried himself, the founder of FTX, the erstwhile cryptocurrency exchange. At number 1, we have the FTX bankruptcy estate sues Bankman-Fried's parents. So, in a not-so-surprising turn of events, the FTX cryptocurrency exchange, which recently filed for bankruptcy, has taken legal action against its founder and former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried's parents, Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fried. They are being sued to recover millions of dollars in fraudulently transferred and misappropriated funds. The FTX estate is seeking damages, the return of any property or payments made to the parents, and punitive damages for their alleged misconduct. And the allegations against them? Well, the lawsuit claims that Joseph facilitated the transfer of significant sums of money for personal gain. For example, using his tax expertise, he was involved in a cash gift totaling $10 million to himself and Barbara, consisting of Alameda Limited's funds. The filing essentially alleges that Bankman and Fried, that's Joseph and Barbara, both law professors at Stanford Law School, used their knowledge to enrich themselves at the expense of the FTX group. It suggested that Joseph was aware of the financial troubles at the FTX group whilst extracting millions of dollars from it, plundering it, in quotes, in order to enrich themselves and their pet causes, is the way the filing puts it. Joseph is actually a famous actor. Well, of course he's not, but he is a big fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So somehow he found his way into the infamous Super Bowl ad fronted by Larry David. Coincidence? Of course not. Gabe Bankman-Fried, that's Sam's brother, apparently made the request that he be included because he was too humble to request the cameo himself, unlike his humble acceptance of the $10 million gift from FTX, I guess.
You sign first.
No king! Gentlemen, have you taken leave of your senses?
The people shall have the right to vote.
Even the stupid ones?
Yes.
Stupid people vote?
Yes.
Barbara, on the other hand, isn't a famous actor like her husband. Instead, she was the, in quotes, point person for SBF's political contribution strategy. Tens of millions were contributed to Mind the Gap, a PAC, that's a political action committee, co-founded by, guess who? Yes, Barbara. And she was the president and the chair, and explicitly requested the donations. At number 2, we have testimony from the inner circle against Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, prosecutors plan to use testimony from Sam Bankman-Fried's trusted inner circle, including its former executives, to convict him in the upcoming trial. The prosecution are alleging that Bankman-Fried misappropriated billions of dollars from investors to fund various activities, including illegal campaign contributions and for personal enrichment. It's worth noting that Sam Bankman-Fried has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. And as an aside, in case you didn't know, the political campaign donations has been dropped as a charge because these weren't on the extradition warrant that was originally submitted to the Bahamas last year. And in case that wasn't enough, Joseph, i.e. SBF's father, was paid more than $18 million for a property he happened to own in the Bahamas, which as far as I can tell was formerly owned by FTX anyway, and to boot he got around $200,000 annual salary for all this work that he gave to FTX because he was a senior advisor for them. At number 3, we have former FTX executive pleads guilty. Ryan Salome, the former co-chief executive of FTX Digital Markets, has pleaded guilty to making illegal campaign contributions and participating in a criminal conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transfer business. So, Salome is the fourth high-ranking official at FTX or its affiliates to plead guilty, and he's agreed to forfeit substantial assets. And by substantial, this has been reported as up to $1.55 billion of assets, and that's just a phenomenal sum. I think we're going to find out much more about his involvement and how he can afford that amount of money, if he can, in due course. I'll be watching out for that one, that's for sure. Anyway, that brings testimony from 4 high-ranking officials, including Caroline Ellison, SBF's former love interest, which are going to form a key part of the prosecution as well. The other 2 people are co-founder Gary Wang and former FTX engineering chief Nishad Singh, all of whom have pleaded guilty to fraud and conspiracy. At number 4, we have the monies associated with the campaign finance charges. As I've already mentioned, those charges have been dropped, but we did see an indication of the monies involved. Earlier in the year, we heard that there was around $40 million of political contributions made, but the filings now refer to over $100 million of customer funds that was misappropriated. Apparently, it was Ryan Salome who made a significant number of the donations directly. And these were to both parties, and they were to aid pro-crypto and to hinder anti-crypto legislative-leaning politicians. And finally, at number 5, we have Bankman-Fried's jail conditions. There were concerns raised by Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyers about his jail conditions. His lawyers claimed that he's subsisting on minimal food, including just bread and water, due to a lack of vegan meal options. And I think in that respect, the prosecutors have agreed to go back to the jail and check what the position is. His lawyers also argue that he's not received essential medications, which was ordered by the court, and these are apparently medications for both depression and ADHD, which I believe is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Well, that's a roundup of several bits and pieces, really, of information that's come to light following the court filings. And I guess the cryptocurrency world just continues to be rocked one way or another by these continuing revelations. The FTX Bankruptcy estate's lawsuit against SBF's parents definitely adds another layer of complexity to what is an already convoluted situation, but I'll keep a close eye on developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. So thank you for bearing with me and tuning in. And so as the hand of subscribe hits the like, subscribe and notification button in stages, it wonders if Larry David is looking for any stage hands, get it, in his next production. Bye for now.